Hey guys, Bice Bump here, bringing you this Unholy pre-patch quick guide. For you guys that have played Unholy in Season 4 and just want to understand, alright, what's different when pre-patch hits on Tuesday/Wednesday, what I actually need to know, what talent should I do, what's different with rotation, that's the kind of vibe we're going for here. Jumping straight into it, let's talk about talents. So, there's been quite a big talent rework for Unholy. These are our raiding talent. Starting with the class tree, there's actually a lot of choice here. The general vibe is that, you know, you have things like Blood Scent, you have Assimilation, ANZ, a lot of talents that aren't, you know, crucial. I think the general, you know, goal is to use this like normally. And then on a pure single target fight, you can always swap the onto the ground, you know, the haste and death and decay onto enfeeble. And that's kind of like a go-to, I'm going to make myself as defensive as possible build. But as I said, think about it, you can pick up stuff like blinding sleet, you can pick up interrupt when that's needed, you can do loads of things here, and there's really not one set class tree to go for. This is just kind of what I recommend that works most of the time, right? Spectre, we have this as our new raiding talents. This is kind of like a sinking target disease build. You see we pick up Edmund Fever, Unholy Blight, Playbringer. We also do Super Strain and then Doom Bidding. And then we also pick up Harbinger of Doom. So all the kind of like the Sudden Doom proc talents. The whole idea is to get loads of Sudden Doom procs. You use them, that summons lots of Magi, which then deals lots of damage. That's the goal we're going for. Now, when it comes to choice, it really depends on the target count. Like I said, first of all, in single target, Unholy Pact and Ghoulish Monstrosity are like really neck and neck. So that's a personal choice. Just like the Unholy Pact scales better in AoE, so you might as well always just run that by default. When you're doing 2 to 3 targets, what you want to do is you want to pick up Megas and Magus. Menace and Magus, that's the one that makes Magus cleave. And then also do Improved Death Call. Improved Death Call is really strong on 2 to 3 targets. Once we hit 4+, you want to go out of Improved Death Call. Epidemic starts essentially becoming better than Death Call at that point, so you lose a lot of value from the Improved Death Call talent pick. Instead, what you do is you do Unholy Pact and just Menace and Magus. And that gives you the direction of, okay, how do I change my talent, spending a fight, and the target count I'm actually going for. Other than that, there is a viable build where instead of going into mobility and super strain, you do Command of the Dead and you do Unholy Aura. But that's actually always kind of worse. You get less AoE, it's more pet focused, but you can opt to do that if you want to. Now, Mythic Plus, our build looks something like this up here. It's actually quite similar to the Radiant build, which is good. It's just that we focus a bit more on AoE. You can see we pick up Vial Contagion. That is kind of an optional. Vial Contagion adds a lot of buttons to your opener. So if you don't like having a really long, complicated opener, don't pick Vial Contagion. Go for something like Pestilence. You could go Festering Scythe as well. That's the kind of thing. Play around with it. I think I'll actually make a Myth Plus video where we do no armor builds as well. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, those are the talents. That's kind of like the most important thing. Let's talk about the rotation. Like, what has changed with rotation in single target and Myth Plus? So, in single target, I think the major thing is the opener. Our new opener looks like this. It's much more straightforward. Run into the boss, you hit the Abomination Limb, go one Naked Skirt Strike, start out that Playbringer, and also get your legendary dot on the target. Follow up with a legendary, and then just send all your cooldown. Dark Transformation, Unholy Assault, Apocalypse. That's it. You're done. You can use the macros up here for your Unholy Assault to put in your Trinket and your Potion. Potion can go with Dark Transformation as well. It doesn't matter that much. Right, for your single target rotation, you're going to do the same thing as always. You're going to build your wounds. You're going to burst those wounds. Generally, I recommend staying between 2 and 4 wounds as a rule. We don't want to go too high so that we overcap wounds with Infected Claws. We don't want to go too low so when we get Sudden Doom proc, we essentially don't have a wound to proc with our Death Call. So 2 to 4 is a good kind of range to stay in. Keep up your Playbringer always, but if you just play the rotation properly, that's going to be fine since, you know, Skirt Strike is going to be weaved in there to keep up the Playbringer. So your Sudden Doom procs are going to be much more important than in Dragonflight, so do make sure to consume those before they run out or overcap. As I said, we're running Harbinger of Doom a lot of the time, so if you manage to rack up 2 procs, 100% prioritize using Death Call. But if you just have a single proc, it's actually good to not spend that immediately, because you want to make sure your Rotten Touch gets a bit prolonged in a good way. Rotten Touch will have around 90% uptime, so you won't be playing around it that much. But as I said, by spacing out your Sun Doom procs, you're going to get naturally high uptime, which means that more of your Skirt Strikes are going to be benefiting from that debuff on the target. But that's pretty much it. When it comes to cooldown, you just send them every 45 seconds. Everything that's ready, it all aligns perfectly. You're good to go. The exact order doesn't matter that much. It's quite nice to go and hold Assault into Apocalypse to guarantee the 4 wounds, but you can just do it the other way around. Apocalypse, you want to use that at 4 wounds ideally, but using it at 3 or 2 is better if it means you don't delay it without other cooldowns. You don't want situations, right? We had Dark Transformation ready, Apocalypse is ready, but you only have 2 wounds, and then you have to wait for some runes. You have to hit Festing Strike and then Apocalypse. Bad idea. You do not want to delay your CDs anytime. Just hit Apocalypse, even if it's not the most efficient. Now, Mythic Plus rotation is very similar to the rune build we're currently running in Dragonflight. The goal is you go into a pack, you're going to go hit down your Defile, go a Skirt Strike, send all the cooldowns. If you have Vial Contagion, you're going to do double Festering Strike into Vial Contagion, or Unholy Assault into plus Festering Strike into Vial Contagion to spread all those wounds, and then you're going to prioritize bursting those wounds with Skirt Strike. Epidemic is more like a filler, hit it if you have a Sundoom proc, or if you don't have the runes for Skirt Strike. That's the kind of vibe. And then it's just this kind of spammer gameplay where you hit Outbreak to refresh your dots, you make sure that you always have Cleaving Strikes active with Defile, you spend a rune power on Epidemic, and then you hit Skirt Strike to cleave. That's it. Same thing, very samey as Dragonflight, but a bit more spammy perchance. Everything else, trinkets, gear, all those kind of stuff is pretty much the same. Our stat priority hasn't significantly changed. We still want the same trinkets, mirror, plus some passive. You can run double passive, it's like 1% worse, so that's also something that's competitive. But yeah, that's kind of the vibe. That's what you need to know. Let me know down in the comments, was this helpful? Upvote, downvote, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.